Guys, it's me again. Now, you guys kindly always suggest things, and a couple of you constantly ask the same thing. That's good, man. It means I can't forget it. So let's talk about Thiago. You lot have been waiting for it. I might as well get into it. Before I start, I promise you guys, I'm only like this because I was writing up the material for this, and I cannot be bothered to go and find my Arsenal jumper that you normally see me with. So yeah, I'm just a dressing gown thing right now. It's cold in my house, anyways, so it's just a dressing gown one right now. But let's get into it. I mean, the football purist in me loves Thiago, man. I can't lie. I'm gonna be here all day. I mean, from where do I start, man? There's so much, from the balance to the weight of pass to always making the right decision in regards to a pass. I'm pretty sure he had the most successful passes last year in the Champions League in the final third. Throughout the whole of Bundesliga last year, his pass accuracy is 90%. You guys know I don't like stats, but that shows how great he is. He's got the vision, the passing range, long or short, the dribbling, the technical quality. The man is just amazing. Like, he's skillful, but he can keep it simple. Like, he's everything I look for, man. I hate him. I hate him for not playing for Brazil, and I'll always say Rafinha's better than you. I mean, of course we know he's not, but I'm bitter about that because if we had him, it's ridiculous, man. I mean, he's obviously of Brazilian heritage. I think his cousin's Rodrigo that played for Spain and plays for Valencia. But yeah, Brazilian heritage. Played for Flamengo until 10 years of age. Born in Italy, grew up basically in Spain. I mean, and his dad was a footballer. Look at all these countries I've named. How can you not be a good footballer, being exposed to all these different cultures and playing football and things like that? Made his debut at Barcelona at 18 years of age. We know this. He's now 26 years of age and he's in his prime of his career. Now, there's still a bit of debate around the guy. I do have some criticisms about him. I mean, from the ages of, he's 80, he made his debut at 18. And now he's 26. Of course, we know he's had numerous injuries, whether it's been the knee, whether it's been this, whether it's been that. Of course, Wilshere's not levels with him, but I can sympathise with Thiago because he's very similar to Wilshere. He's had a lot of injuries and things like that. But from the age of 18 to 26, the biggest thing I'll say is what big game has he got by the scruff of its neck that you can remember of memory? Yes, you could say Arsenal, but I mean, everyone beats us. Fletcher turned up against Arsenal. That means nothing. He had a decent game, I think. Was it last year or the year before against Real Madrid? But other than that, there's not really any games that come to mind like that about the guy. Like, you're not thinking raw. Like, whereas with Verratti, who I don't know who's better. They're both great. They're both arguably top 5 or whatever in the world. You can name Verratti, you can name the Chelseas, the Barcelonas, you can name that. If Thiago, you're really kind of struggling to think of something. Like I said, he's an excellent footballer, but at 26 years of age, I want to see a bit more. I mean, it doesn't make sense because I think he's got 7 or 8 league titles, 23 major honours. Yeah, Barcelona could use him and Cesc Fabregas right now. Of course, at the time it was hard. He had Cesc in front of him, Busquets, and the main men in Xavi and Iniesta. Anyone's going to have a problem with that. And now he's gone off to Munich and he's doing his thing. But like, back to the point about what games has he got by the scruff of his neck? Arsenal, he turned us over. And it is hard kind of because he's surrounded by a lot of technically gifted footballers and technically great footballers. It's hard to stand out. But for me, I need to see these games where you're like, yes, it was Thiago's. Not that he played well like he does. He played extremely well. It was like, yes, Thiago did this. Thiago dominated it. Look at Real Madrid. Of course, it's slightly different. But they've got how many star players? We can always be like, Modric controlled everything. Everything ran through Modric. Everything ran through Cruz. That's what I want to see from Thiago because I believe he's an amazing footballer. He's absolutely great, man. I mean, there's not much he can't do. That's the only criticism I really have of him. That, and he really should score more. Someone of his standard. I mean, when has he collectively hit double figures? I think he got double figures last year, so I'm being a bit harsh on him. I believe he got last year 10 goals, either 10 goals, 10 assists, or 9 goals, 9 assists in 41 appearances, 15, 16, 42 appearances, 4 goals, 8 assists, 13, 14. He was disrupted by injury, so there's no point talking about that. And the same with the following seasons. So he's shown a willingness. Like I said, if he always has the most touches in the final third, that shows someone that is always in the right place where he could score goals. He's got the technical capabilities to score more goals. He can hit long or short range. He can hit a free kick. Someone like him should be scoring more for me. Like, he really should. They're the only 2 criticisms, in my opinion. He should score more, and we need to have these games where we're like, yeah, it was all Thiago's, because he's 26. He's now in the peak of his powers. There's Verratti, there's Thiago, there's Pogba, there's Kroos, there's all these other midfielders. I don't know who's better than who. It's all debatable. But what has Thiago, like, there's no games by the scruff of his neck by Thiago. Of course, I'm not saying there hasn't been games he hasn't played well. Of course, there's been numerous games he's played well and been one of the standout performances. But I'm saying it's the Thiago show. This will go down when he retires. People will remember this game in the same way. Of course, 2 different positions. You remember the numerous against Ronaldinho versus Chelsea. You remember Ronaldinho Clasico. You remember these things. Like, Thiago's an excellent footballer. He's won it all. I mean, oh, Lord, I would love him at Arsenal. Would never sign for us. But he is great. And I mean, he's got 128 appearances for Bayern Munich. And he's got 18 goals, 23 assists. That's not the best, but it's not the worst. And someone like him, for me, he should be calm. That should actually be on a 30, maybe even 35. He should be someone like him that is so good both with a football and off the ball movement. Someone that's always in the final third should be returning more goals than them. You guys can never call me consistent because whether it's England or Europe, I always say, what do I always tell you guys? Midfielders genuinely need to score more. Genuinely, from my heart, I believe that. And generally, they need to score more goals, man. They need to. Thiago is excellent, man. I would love him at Arsenal. Like I said, the perfect blend of Brazilian soul with Spanish intelligence. Like, the man is amazing. Like, if it's not the triangles or the weight apart, oh, man, Thiago is sick, man. Thiago is serious. Thiago is a serious guy. But yeah, man, let me wrap this up. In conclusion, I just need him to put his mark on games more. It looks like he's getting over his injuries, but he needs to stamp his his mark on games more, and probably get a bit more goals. But the guy is definitely one of the best in the world. He definitely is. He definitely is. And I know it sounds a bit weird and it doesn't really sound logical. I mean, how can you be one of the best in the world when we can't really think of 5 top games where you've put in? But he is, man. Those of you that watch him, those of you that understand football, understand that football isn't meant to make sense, for God's sake. We've got someone who's under 6 foot beating Rio Ferdinand to headers in Champions League finals and going down as the best player ever. And Lionel Messi it's not meant to make sense. Leicester shouldn't have won the Premier League with all the riches of the other clubs. Football don't make sense. Greece shouldn't have won the Euros in 04, I believe. Football doesn't make sense, and our job is not to try and rationalize it. It's just simply to talk about it. Guys, Deluded Gooner, I'm signing out. Get in the comments, subscribe, do the rest, man. Like I said, man, he's been very unlucky with injuries. Just to wrap it up, he's been very unlucky with injuries. He needs to stamp his authority on games more and score more. That's just it. But other than that, the guy's amazing, and I hope I've wrapped up everything that you guys that got in the comments about this wanted me to do. Yeah, man, Deluded Gooner, I'm signing out. Get in the comments, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Deluded Gooner 04, DGooner 04 on Snap. I'm out.